Whatever you're saving up for, a CD from Sandy Spring Bank lets you grow your savings at a guaranteed rate. Right now, earn interest at 5.50% APY on an 8-month CD special or 5.00% APY on a 14-month CD special. Learn more at sandyspringbank.com/CD specials. Minimum opening deposit to earn the annual percentage yield is $500 for the 8-month CD special and $2,500 for the 14-month CD special. Member FDIC.
Local news, national news, even feel-good news, delivering the topics that are relevant to you.
That's why I listen to Joe. He covers it all.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
All right, man, I'm so excited. Friday night high school football. We got some great football games going on. The weather tonight is exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. I'm so excited about Friday night high school football tonight. Because there's no rain. We don't have anything on the radar. We got nothing to worry about with regards to rain tonight. I will say that there's one tiny little cell of showers down by Lake Buena Vista, and it is just enough to get your windshield just a few sprinkles, and that's about it. Otherwise, it's going to be beautiful. 86 degrees right now, and as soon as the sun starts to set, it's going to cool off. I don't know about y'all, but I got out early this morning. I was out about 8 a.m. this morning. Which is early for me. And I was actually chilly when I stepped outside this morning, and it was refreshing. It was chilly and nice, and I really, really enjoyed it. All right, we got some updates here on that F-35 that crashed over the Carolinas, the pilot ejecting out of that F-35. And I've got a couple of different pieces of audio that I want you to hear that I don't think you have heard yet. You might have, but I don't think you have. Now, I do know you've heard this. Well, hang on. Let me back up a little bit. So the pilot ejects from the airplane, the F-35 stealth fighter, and he parachutes down into some dude's backyard. And we now have the 911 call of the dude that owned the house, calling 911 to say that there's a pilot here at my house. And I'm reminded of the scene. Spoiler alert here, if you've not seen Top Gun Maverick, but I'm reminded of the scene in Top Gun Maverick near the beginning of the film when Maverick is flying the test fighter jet, and he crashes the test fighter jet, and he walks into a diner with his flight suit on and holding his helmet, and he drinks a big glass of water, and he kind of leans in and he says, "Where am I?" And this little child sitting at the diner goes, "Earth," because he looks like he's from outer space. So I would have to imagine you're there in South Carolina. You're in rural South Carolina, and suddenly in your backyard lands this guy in a space suit with a space helmet, and he's like, "Hey, I just bailed out of my jet." So here is the 911 call as it came in.
911, what's the address of the emergency? Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
I guess we got a pilot at our house, and he says he got ejected. So he ejected from the plane. So we just see if we could get some ambulance, please.
I'm sorry, what happened?
We got a pilot in the house, and I guess he landed in my backyard, and we were trying to see if we could get a ambulance to the house, please.
Okay, so okay. What is the phone number that you're calling from? Okay, we're getting help on the way. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, no problem.
And then at some point, the pilot gets on the phone, not just the homeowner, but the pilot gets on the phone.
Okay, are you with the patient now?
Yes.
Okay, how old is the patient?
We had a military jet crash. I'm the pilot. We need to get rescue rolling. I'm not sure where the airplane is. It would have crash landed somewhere.
Can you imagine that? I'm not sure where the plane is. I'm the pilot. Here I am, and I don't know where the plane is.
I ejected.
Okay, how far did he fall?
I was at 2,000 feet.
Okay, and what caused the fall?
She has no idea what is going on. She is so clueless. How far did he fall?
An aircraft failure.
Okay. Okay, is there any serious bleeding?
I don't know. I can't see myself.
No, you look fine. You just couple scratches.
What did the other person say?
I feel okay. My back just hurts.
Okay.
Has there been a report of an airplane crash?
I have not seen any come up yet. Okay, what part of the body was injured?
Ma'am, I'm a pilot in the military aircraft, and I ejected. So I just rode a parachute down to the ground. Can you please send an ambulance?
Yes, sir. I've already told you they're on their way. I'm just required to ask these questions while they're en route.
That's it. I feel frustrated for the pilot, and depending on the investigation, that may have been the last time that pilot ever gets to fly a plane. Generally speaking, if you crash an Air Force jet, if you crash a military jet, they generally don't let you fly again. It's not unlike captains of ships and submarines. If you crash a ship or a submarine, you will lose your command pretty quickly. And bless his heart, that pilot may not ever get to fly again. Now, you certainly heard this audio earlier in the week because Eric Erickson had this and had a good laugh out of it. But the local television there interviewed an eyewitness, a man who saw the plane going down. They said it was inverted when it started to crash. It was upside down. So in that case, you would eject downwards towards the earth, which would be frightening. I mean, every part of that would certainly be frightening. But this was the eyewitness, and of course, this guy's a backwoods, small town South Carolina guy, and he is quite colorful with his language. And his description. He's quite comical, quite frankly.
And I heard a screeching, between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom.
Now, I love that guy. I love his description.
Back if you were planning to bench him. I'm not planning.
Wait, hang on. Here, let's listen to him again.
And I heard a screeching, between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom.
Now, I heard that scream, and I got to thinking, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
And I heard a screeching, between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk, you better back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up. If you got the feeling, jump up, touch the ceiling. Monsters of funk flow, someone's fucking jump, yo, I'll bust them in the eye. And then I'll take the punks out, feeling funky. Amps in a trunk and I got more rhymes in this cops at a junkie. Donut shop, sure enough, I got props from the kids on the hill with my mom and my pops. I came to get down, so get down your seat and jump around. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. Jump around. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. So what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. I'll serve your ass like John McEnroe. If your girl steps up, I'm smacking the hoe. Word to your mom.
I love that guy, man. That just gets me fired up on a Friday night here. Friday night high school football. We're having some fun. Great music.
Who knew that would get him a recording contract?
Yeah, the guy's famous now. Good for him, man. This is awesome. Absolutely love it. PC, how are you tonight? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
And what did you have for breakfast this morning?
No, I did something I haven't done in about 30 years. And I had a bowl of Cocoa Puffs.
How was that?
It was exactly the way I thought it would be, except for I did not like it as much.
Funny
it was just
works.
like, I know. Well, the chocolate milk is underrated, but at the same time, it was like, what the heck did I do to myself when I was a kid?
I'm more of a Captain Crunch kind of guy. It's been a long time since I've had any Captain Crunch, though.
But when you have Captain Crunch, you can't feel the roof of your mouth.
Yeah,
it tears up the roof of your mouth.
Tears up the roof of your mouth.
But I love those crunch berries. Gotta love me some crunch berries.
Yeah. Laurel, you doing all right tonight? Everything okay?
Everything's good.
All right. I don't want to hear any complaints then, all right? We're going to have Name That Tune coming up in the next hour. You going to be ready for it, Laurel? Are you down from some music?
Sure. I'm going to do terrible, I'm sure, but sure.
And Greg, our producer. Greg, are you ready for music trivia tonight?
I feel like I did all right the last time, so we'll kind of see what happens.
And we're going to dodge around several different decades for our music trivia coming up in the next hour. We've got Bob Ross news. Bob Ross, the PBS painter, the guy who painted, and he would do a 30-minute painting, and he did literally tens of thousands of paintings throughout the totality of his career. But one of his paintings, in fact, it is said to have been his first ever TV painting. It was called A Walk in the Woods. It is sold for $10 million. $10 million.
Very happy trees.
Is what it sold for. Now, he, throughout the totality of his career, it is believed that he has painted more than 30,000 different paintings. And in spite of the fact that there are some 30,000 Bob Ross paintings out there, they very, very rarely go up for auction. They very rarely go up for sale. Now, the thing I like about Bob Ross, there's a lot of things I like about Bob Ross, but one of the things that you may not know is that Bob Ross was an Orlando boy. He was from right here in Central Florida. In fact, he is buried right here in Central Florida. He was born in Daytona Beach, but he was raised in Orlando. He dropped out of high school in the 9th grade, worked as a carpenter with his father. He lost part of his left index finger. I don't know if you ever noticed that when he was painting, but it was pretty much you wouldn't be able to see his fingers behind the palette that he would hold, and it didn't affect his ability to hold the palette while he was painting. But in 1961, then 18-year-old Bob Ross enlisted in the United States Air Force. He was put into service as a medical records technician. He rose to the rank of Master Sergeant, served as a first sergeant at an air base in Alaska, where he saw, think of this as a Florida boy, right? Born in Daytona Beach, living in Orlando, raised in Orlando, and then for his very first time ever, he goes to Alaska. That was the very first time ever Bob Ross saw snow and mountains. And, of course, that became his recurring theme in his paintings. He developed a very quick painting technique during his brief daily breaks in the military. It was because of his military training that he was able to perfect painting very, very quickly, and he was able to get it done in 30 minutes. He was noted for his permed hair. He hated his permed hair. He wanted to get rid of his permed hair. But at the point at which he was finally going to get rid of his permed hair, it became iconic, and it became a part of him, and it was incorporated into the company logo. So he had to keep his permed hair for the rest of his life, even though he didn't want it. Now, in 1982, a television station in Falls Church, Virginia, which is a suburb of Washington, D.C., aired a taping of an art class as a pilot, and 60 PBS stations signed up for the show, and that is when he moved to Muncie, Indiana, to start painting there. But he kept he ended up moving back to Florida in 1989, but he continued to travel to Muncie every 3 months to tape the show. He did this show absolutely free. He made no income whatsoever from doing the show for PBS, but he made his income from how-to books, videotapes, and art supplies. The show ran from 1983 to 1994, but reruns still appear in many broadcast areas in many different countries. He used his TV show to promote a line of art supplies and class recordings, building what would become a $15 million business. He painted an estimated 30,000 paintings in his lifetime. And again, despite the original, the unusually high supply of paintings, they're very scarce on the market. They rarely go on sale, and when they do, they end up going for a lot of money. He was opposed to having his work turned into financial instruments. He didn't want to sell his art. He liked to give his art away. He was a cigarette smoker for most of his adult life. He expected to die young and had several health problems over the course of his life. He died at the age of 52 in 1995 right here in Orlando, Florida, due to complications from lymphoma. His remains were interred at the Woodlawn Memorial Park in Gotha, Florida. Laurel, I know just by happenstance that you've been to that cemetery. I've been to that cemetery.
Yeah, that's right.
I know that your Star Wars troopers did an honorary memorial there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cemetery.
And it really is. And at his memorial site, people routinely leave paintbrushes and tubes of paint on his gravestone as a memorial to him. His lymphoma was not known outside of circle of family and friends until after his death. So Bob Ross, local boy, done good. Congratulations to the estate. $10 million they have made selling his very first television painting, A Walk in the Woods. Technically, it sold for $9.8 million, but we'll round that up to $10 million. Now you know the story of Bob Ross, the iconic television painter. I'm Joe Kelley. Coming up next here on the Joe Kelley Show, all the stories you missed while you're at work today. And oh my, there are a lot of them. So hang on, we'll have it for you coming up next on the Joe Kelley Show.
Everyone knows that putting money aside in savings is really important. But then what? Should you keep your savings locked in a CD for a higher rate or keep them liquid in a money market? Can your checking account help you save too? Or is it about creating the right combination? We believe real banking is a conversation. Let's talk about the savings options that are right for you. Learn more at sandyspringbank.com. Member FDIC.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
Oh my gosh, Joe Kelley, you have got me rolling in the car at this traffic light right now. People are looking at me like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, so no joke, whoever did the jump around clip made our whole family laugh. Great job, guys.
It's a Friday, man. We got to unwind,
Yeah,
right?
that was the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. Thanks for that laugh on a Friday.
Thank you very much for listening.
I like the story about Joe Ross.
Bob Ross.
Much better than yesterday's story about the skydiver.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it up, Joe.
Yeah, did you guys hear about the skydiver? He got decapitated. His head was separated from his shoulders by the plane after he jumped out of the airplane. It was terrible. Horrible story. All right, here are the stories that you missed while you're at the office today, while you're working today. A lot of stories. 10 hours ago, Amazon said they're going to introduce limited advertisements to the Prime Video streaming services here in the United States as they seek to increase investment in content. That's great. So what's the point of having Prime if they're going to run spots in it anyway? 9 hours ago, the Associated Press had the story about Ukraine carried out a missile strike on the headquarters of Russia's Black Sea Fleet. Images on social media showed large plumes of smoke said to be coming from the harbor in the annexed Crimea. 7 hours ago, you heard it on ABC News. You heard it here on WDBO. United States Senator Bob Mendez, Democrat from New Jersey, indicted by federal grand jury in New York. Investigation focused on a luxury car, gold bars, and an apartment that was received by the Mendez family and his wife. This is going to be the second time that he is going to go through a trial of the sorts. He was on a corruption trial some 7 years ago, and it was a hung jury. 6 hours ago, automakers at 38 more plants for General Motors and Stellantis, the parent of Chrysler, are going to walk off the job today. 5 hours ago, U.S. plans to send long-range cluster missiles to Ukraine. 2 hours ago, with a potential shutdown 8 days away, White House Budget Office notifies agencies to prepare to alert federal workers. Those are the stories you missed while you're at work today. Coming up next here on The Joe Kelley Show, the opposite of deja vu. You guys know what deja vu is. Did you know that there is an opposite of deja vu? Hang on. I'll tell you about it coming up next.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Orange, Seminole, Osceola, and all of Central Florida. Join the conversation now by using the open mic in the WDBO app. Now, the Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's News and Talk, WDBO.
And I hope you guys check out the chat group on the WDBO Facebook page. It's a whole lot of fun. We have a lot of fun in there. And it's a completely different show that we do there. It's a very visual show there because it's video. But we've got video cameras on me and on Paul and on Laurel and on Greg. And sometimes we'll screen share and do other things. But if you would ever want to join us, if you get the time. I know a lot of you are driving. It's impossible to be able to pull up a Facebook page while you're doing that. But we do have a lot of fun there. And we just recently were most recently talking about my chest tube, that I still have a drainage tube in my left lung, which I expect to get it taken out next week. By the way, I had a weird start to my day today. I accidentally took my cat's meds this morning. Don't ask me how.
Do you identify as a cat now?
Because
I had to say it. It's Friday.
All right. So there is a thing called deja vu. You guys know what deja vu is, right? So someone tell me what is deja vu?
Feeling like you've been through this before.
Right. So the opposite of deja vu is a thing called jamais vu. Hang on. I had to get the pronunciation guide on this. Jamais vu.
Jamais vu.
Jamais vu. Jamais vu. Jamais vu is the experience of something familiar, something that you do that's familiar, like a face or a song or a word, and that suddenly feels foreign to you. Like if you write the same word over and over and over again, it begins to look like it's not a real world. And that is the feeling of jamais vu. So researchers asked 94 participants to write common words repeatedly, and 70% of the participants at least once stopped due to a strange feeling. It doesn't seem right, and it looks almost like it's not really a word, but somebody's tricked me into thinking that it is a word, one of the participants said. Jamais vu is a signal to you that something has become too automatic, too fluent, too repetitive. The feeling of unreality is, in fact, a reality check. I don't know if you guys watch Ted Lasso, but Ted Lasso has an episode that deals with precisely that, jamais vu. But that's not what they call it. And pardon me for the bad audio, but it's like I recorded it off my TV.
Back if you were planning to bench him. I'm not planning on that. My plan is for my plan to work. But you know what they say about the best laid plans, right? I said plan too many times. Word's lost all its meaning now. Plan. Hey, you tell Man City that this man has a plan. Plan.
No, plan. Like flan. Plan.
Flan? That dessert?
Yes, like flan.
Yuck. No, I don't dig on flan. Plan? Word becomes sound? What's that called again? Semantic satiation? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Semantic satiation is what they call it on Ted Lasso. Semantic.
Wasn't George Michael in that band? Flam. Hang
on, that might be one of our music trivia questions. Name that tune coming up the next hour. So don't venture too far. Now I've got to tell a story from when I was 8 years old. Can I go deep into the Joe Kelley archive? And I've got to tell you a story from when I was 8 years old because I saw this survey. And, with Halloween coming up now, right? So Halloween is coming up. And the question was asked, what horror film villain keeps you up at night? And according to 54% of Americans, who would you say is the most iconic horror film villain? Give me a throw something out.
Freddy Krueger.
Well, Laura, what do you think?
Michael Myers.
All right. Greg, what do you think?
Let's go with Jason.
All right. All good guesses. One of you actually got it right. Paul Cross, congratulations. Freddy Krueger is the right answer. 39% picked Chucky, and 34% picked Ghostface. Who is Ghostface?
The Scream killer.
Scream.
I thought we called that person Scream. And then for family friendly Halloween films, there's Casper, the Ghostbusters, and I don't know this one, Coraline. So it's a typo then.
It must be, yeah. Coraline is the Tim Burton movie.
Okay, because it's spelled Coline on my notes.
Yeah, it's a typo.
Oh, it's a typo. Okay. And 53% of respondents saw their first horror film without parental permission. That's what I want to bring up when I was 8 years old. Do you guys remember the first horror film you ever saw? Do you remember what it was? What was the first horror film that you ever saw, Laurel, that you can recall?
Signs.
Okay, fair enough. Paul?
Oh, it was a movie called It's Alive. And it was about a baby, and it was born in the teeth and everything like that. And I remember that haunting me forever. If you ever look up, I'm going to look it up right now, and I'll show the people in the chat room, but It's Alive. Ooh.
So in 1975, I was 8 years old. Sweet, little, skinny, dorky Joe Kelley. I was 8 years old. And my older cousins, my mischievous older cousins, told my mom and dad, don't worry, Aunt Jeanette, my mom's name is Jan or Jeanette. Don't worry, Aunt Jan, we're going to take your son to go see the Apple Dumpling Gang. You remember the Apple Dumpling Gang?
I do.
Wait, hang on. For those that don't know the Apple Dumpling Gang, here is what a movie trailer sounded like back in 1975.
First, the West's worst bank robbers blew into town.
Theodore. Hi, Frank.
Then they blew it up. In Walt Disney Productions' new screen comedy, The Apple Dumpling Gang. See Tim Conway and Don Knotts in The Apple Dumpling Gang.
Rated G.
So they told my mom, who would be Aunt Jeanette, my older cousins, said we're going to take little Joe and his brother Steve, and we're going to go see Apple Dumpling Gang at the local Cineplex.
A lovely, wholesome movie, it sounds.
1975. Do you know what other movie came out in 1975? Anything come to mind? Bum, bump. Bum, bump. Bum,
Baby
bump.
Shark, Paul put up. Not quite Baby Shark.
Maybe related, though. Could be Daddy Shark.
So they took me to go see Jaws instead of the Apple Dumpling Gang. I was 8, guys. I was 8 years old. This is why I've been traumatized my entire life. Because I was promised Apple Dumpling Gang and I got Jaws. And I remember cowering in my chair with my knees up to my chest in a fetal position as an 8-year-old skinny little kid at the multiplex, watching what I thought was going to be Apple Dumpling Gang, and then suddenly finding, well, first of all, the first part of the movie has a naked woman in it, and I had never seen as an 8-year-old a naked woman in it before. I was like, well, that's not Apple Dumpling Gang. And then the naked woman gets devoured by a shark. And then from there, it just gets terrible from there on out. Do I need to give a spoiler alert for what happens in Jaws? I think we're beyond that at this point, right? So there's a shark, and it terrorizes everybody in the community of. Do you remember the name of the community in Jaws? No.
Oh my gosh, I should. I just watched that the other day.
I bet Michael Gray knows in our chat.
It was shot. The film was shot off of Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts, near Nantucket.
Oh, I can see the billboard. Oh my gosh,
Amityville.
Can't think of it. Amity. There we go.
Which oddly was a different horror series, the Amityville Horror. Wasn't it called the Amityville Horror?
Yep, Amityville Horror.
Yeah. So anyhow, I want to hear from you guys. What was your first horror movie that you deeply, deeply regret being your first horror movie? And by the way, I should make sure that there's multiple syllables in that word, horror movie. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say Pretty Woman, but I guess that's not the same type of caliber of horror movie.
That's not a horror movie.
Okay.
That's
all right.
Yes, and my folks also, when I was a kid, my first can I tell you my first drive-in movie theater? My first drive-in movie, because back in the day it was always a double feature, and the double feature was Blazing Saddles And my parents took me to see Blazing Saddles. You know, in hindsight, I've really got to question some of my parents' techniques.
It answers a lot of questions about you, though. It really does.
And I think the other movie was called Stoker's Ace, but it was Richard.
Yes.
It was Richard Pryor in a racing movie. So it was Blazing Saddles and Stoker's Ace was my first drive-in movie theater experience. And it has absolutely warped my mind ever since. I appreciate you. You know what? I've just saved $150 for an hour of therapy by being able to share with you guys all of my childhood trauma. So thank you for that. It's 5:48. Coming up just after 6 o'clock, we're going to have Name That Tune. We do need a couple of contestants if anybody wants to join us for that. I don't know if our phone lines work. I know we're having some problems with the phone lines, but 844-580-WDBO. All right, so we do have someone standing by. Is that right? Okay, so I think we're good then on contestants. So never mind. Yeah, we'll edit all that out in post, so don't worry about it. We will continue. It's the Joe Kelley Show on a Friday night. Friday night fun and games on the way here on WDBO.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Yeah, 3 to 5. Get caught up on the news and talk of the day with the Joe Kelley Show, 5 to 7. Moving with you throughout your day. WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Talk and discussion on the latest breaking national news.
Crude oil prices continue to fall.
Local news.
You're not going to have Disney have its own government in Central Florida.
And stories that matter to you. Use the open mic in the WDBO app and let your voice be heard on the Joe Kelley Show.
Hi, Joe. It's Annie from Oviedo, driving home, and like you, my first real horror film at 15 years old in 1975 was Jaws. And suffice it to say, I was spending the summer in Connecticut at my grandparents' house, and I had to sleep between my grandparents that night at 15 years old.
Yeah. I mean, Jaws was really, really scary, especially when you're just a little kid.
Hey, Joe. It's Paula from Winter Garden again.
Paula!
My first horror movie experience, I was 9 years old, and we had moved into a new house, which was 2 streets away from a cemetery.
Oh, boy.
And back in the day, they did not play current movies on television, so they had a movie, and it was Night of the Living Dead, where the people come out of the cemetery. So that was no fun.
Oh, David writes in the chat group 7 with Brad Pitt. That was a disturbing movie on so many different levels. By the way, have you seen the parody commercial that came out recently? It's for an ice cream company. Can you look this up real quick, Greg? Go to YouTube and look for 7 parody satire and then ice cream. And it's a commercial for an ice cream place. It looks just like that scene in 7 where Brad Pitt says, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" And they're all dwarfs. I don't know why they're all dwarfs, but they're all dwarfs. And there's a black dwarf that plays the Morgan Freeman part. There's a white dwarf that plays the Brad Pitt part. There's another white dwarf that plays the Kevin Spacey part. I mean, it was incredibly well done commercial, and I meant to share that one day. And this just came out, I don't know, like a week or two ago. But we'll take a look for it and see if we can find it for you. Meanwhile, we're getting ready for our music trivia coming up in the next hour. Are you guys ready? Can I give you a sample of one of the songs we'll have in the next hour? Do you guys want to try something early?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got both old and new songs that we're going to be doing here in the next hour. Oh, see, it's too late now. There's already music playing. I can't.
We'll
play
have to
music.
wait.
Yeah. All right, so hang on. Name That Tune. It's going to be coming up next. Stay with us here on the Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Now, WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Triple Team Traffic.
Heavy delays out of Polk County, I-4 eastbound between 557 through Champions Gate and then to World Drive. It'll get really heavy for you again past the Disney exits around Osceola Parkway to 535. And then again, as you approach Sand Lake, still seeing some heavy delays on the Turnpike northbound approaching 429. And again, as you make your way into Lake County past Colonial. ProTech Air Conditioning and Plumbing Service for honesty, integrity, and 100% customer satisfaction. Call ProTech 407-291-1644 or visit ProTechAC.com. From the WDBO Triple Team Traffic Center, I'm Paul Cross.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. In-depth segments on topics that matter to Orange, Seminole, Osceola, and all of Central Florida. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
I love your show every night. You're doing great, bud.
All right, it's Friday night high school football, man. You got the marching bands, you got the cheerleaders, you got the football players, you got the drum corps, you've got the boosters, you've got the concession stands. I love Friday night high school football. It is just such great slice of Americana. And when there's Friday night high school football, we're not going to do any kind of serious topics tonight. We're gonna play Name That Tune tonight with Paul, Laurel, and Greg. Not necessarily in that order, but we're gonna play Name That Tune. I put together a bunch of songs for you guys from 3 different decades: the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. I've skipped all the 2000s decades, so Laurel, this might be tougher for you.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, I know. So hang on. So, all right, here's going to be our first tune. You guys ready? See if you can identify. Now, here's the deal. You get 1 point for the artist, 1 point for the title. Okay? And Paul, we're having problems with you again on the signal. I don't know if you're aware of that, but you keep freezing up on us. We're having internet issues, I think. All right, here is song number 1. Are you ready? Here we go.
Loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I?
All right, Laurel, who is that?
Oh, and then it gets real fast. It'll go your own way.
Oh, that's good.
And that's all I know.
Oh, man. What about you, Greg?
It's Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac, yes. Do you know who the name of the song?
Go Your Own Way.
Go Your Own Way. 2 points for Greg. Congratulations. All right, song number 2.
Out here in the fields, I found for my meals.
Laurel.
Oh, I know it, but I don't know it.
So you know it, but you don't know it?
I don't know any of the info.
All right. Paul Cross is frozen up. Paul, can you hang up and redial in? Because we have lost Paul Cross. Paul is essential to this because Paul knows all the music.
Between me and Greg, though Greg might know half of it, this is not going to be a fun game.
No, it's not going to be fun at all because I know all of them because I was the one who prepared this. I spent an hour and a half getting all these hooks ready.
I mean, it's one thing when you pick them, right?
Right, so I can't play because I picked the songs. All right, so Paul, if you have to call in. I mean, do something, but we need Paul Cross. Paul, you complete me. We need Paul to join in. All right, Greg, do you know who that is?
That was The Who.
Yeah, but do you know what the name of the song is?
It's some weird name. I don't think it's Teenage Wasteland. It's some weird name, right?
You're exactly right. I always thought the name of the song was Teenage Wasteland, but it's called Bab O'Reilly.
That's right, Bab O'Reilly.
What in the heck? Why would it be called Bab O'Reilly?
Yeah, I don't know. It's The Who. Let them do what they want.
All right, so far Greg has 3 points, Laurel has 0, and Paul is frozen in time.
To be fair, I sang the title of the first one. I just didn't know it was the title.
All right, we're going to give Laurel 1 point for
thanks.
singing the title of the first song because she has no hope of winning of anything at this point. All right, here is song number 3. Laurel, you got this one. Come on now. Get it, girl. Get in there. Get it. Come on.
Get down tonight?
Oh.
It was a good guess.
Do you know the name of the group? Do you know the name of the group?
Funky Town People.
It's real close. Real close. Greg, do you know who it is?
That's the Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees?
Staying Alive.
Staying alive. Staying alive. All right, Laurel, I'm certain you can get this one. Are you ready?
No, but go ahead.
Come on, Laurel, you got this.
It's Queen.
Yes.
And
I'm gonna love you.
somebody to love me.
I love you.
I don't know.
Yeah, somebody to love.
Love me.
Somebody
to love.
Somebody to love. There you go.
Yeah, okay, I figured I got there.
No, did you? Did you get there? I don't know if you
struggle.
I award her all of the points. She got it.
Yes.
Ah, thanks,
All right.
Greg. You're
So
very
Greg
nice.
has 5 points, Laurel has 3 points, and Paul Cross has yet to show up.
This is my chance.
That's right. Before Paul dials back in. For what it's worth, I tried to post that video of the 7 parody with ice cream, and it's also not loading. So we're definitely having internet problems here at the station tonight. So, all right, here is song number 5, clip 5. Are you ready? Here we go. Laurel.
Writing on the wall.
Yes.
Superstitious. Okay, that's how I have to get there in my brain. It's superstitious.
Kind of.
Oh, darn it.
It's superstition.
Okay.
So I'll give you that one.
And Stevie Wonder.
Wow. Very impressive.
Woo!
Can I tell you the first ever celebrity I ever met in radio was Stevie Wonder. And can I tell you, I was 15 years old. And I was on the phone with Stevie Wonder doing a radio interview. It was my first ever celebrity interview, first ever celebrity I met. And I'm 15 years old. I had no idea that Stevie Wonder was going to be calling into the radio station that day. I answer the phone, and there's this guy who goes, yeah, man, we got Stevie Wonder here. He's here to talk to the DJ. I'm like, right. And sure enough, they put Stevie Wonder on the phone. And at the time, for this tour that Stevie Wonder was doing, it was in the round. You guys know what that means, right? If a concert's in the round, that means the stage is in the center of the arena, not at the end of the arena. So there's a 360-degree view. And dumb 15-year-old Joe Kelley said to Stevie Wonder, it's in the round? Wow, that must look really cool. I said to Stevie Wonder, that must look really cool.
Yeah. Oops.
Stevie Wonder was incredibly gracious, and he said, that's what I'm told. So it was really awesome. And now I don't have a picture of me and Stevie Wonder because that was before, everybody had cameras in every pocket of everything all the time. All right, Laurel, here's cut 6. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. You're going to play for Greg.
If I leave here tomorrow, would you?
I got it.
All right, let's hear it.
It's Freebird.
Freebird.
Leonard Skinnard?
Impressive.
Woo!
Very impressive. A couple of whom are still alive. Do you know where they got the name Leonard Skinnard?
From their gym teacher who was named Leonard Skynerd or something, right?
Yeah, his name was Leonard Skinnard, and they named their rock and roll band Leonard Skinnard.
I'm going to pop you on now, Paul.
So, so we got Paul Cross on the phone now.
I guess that's the way you're going to get me.
Is he going to be able to hear the songs on the phone?
Yeah, I can hear everything.
Okay. All right, here's our next song. Are you ready? All right. All right, Laurel, who is that?
But on the river, okay, it's Smoke on the Water.
Wow.
And it's CCR?
No.
Dang, okay, Smoke on the
All
Water,
right,
though.
Paul Cross.
Deep Purple.
Deep Purple it is. And I assume you knew it was Smoke on the Water?
Yes, of course, yes.
Of course you did. All right.
That's the first song you learn on the guitar. 3 chords.
You know, it is so funny you say
4
that.
chords.
As a dorky young kid, I took a summer school class once in elementary school, and that was what they taught me on the guitar. And later on, I found out it was a real song, and I didn't know it was a real song. I'm like, wow, I learned that on the guitar. And that was all I learned. And then my fingers bled, and I decided that I no longer wanted to play the guitar.
Me too, except I learned House of the Rising Sun, and that was like just the beginning of it, and that was the only one. And then I'm like, I can't learn anything past this.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Song number 8.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of politas rising up through the air.
All All right, Laurel, I'm going to go to you first. I'm going, by the way, just so everybody knows, I'm going to Laurel first on the older songs, and then when we get to the newer songs, I'll go to Paul first.
So my dad, when we were kids, decided he wanted to show us his music, and he decided to show us the Eagles. But, the bad news for him is that his daughters in the back would, every time we get in the car, go play Hotel California, and he'd be like, again? And we're like, yeah, again. So there you go, Eagles.
So Laurel is now winning, which is blowing my mind. But I think that's mostly because Paul was unavailable.
Yeah, we just got a head start for Paul. Watch him zoom past us
the first part. So Laurel has 10 points. Greg has 5. Paul has 2 points. All right, this one might be a little bit more difficult. Take a listen.
Every time that I look in the mirror, all these lines in my face getting clearer.
Laurel, who is it?
Dream On by Aerosmith.
What is happening here?
You chose rock. Rock I can do. You start getting into funk or anything else, I'm done for.
Oh, really? Funk? Well, here's cut number 11.
Yeah, she's the one, the only one, built like an Amazon. The clothes she wear, her sexy ways.
Laurel?
Brick House? I don't know by who.
Greg?
Is that Rick James?
Nope. Paul Cross. Commodores. Brick House. I will give an extra point to anybody who can tell me who the lead singer is in the Commodores.
One of them, Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie is right.
Yeah, she's the one, the only one, built like an Amazon.
Check it down now. Check it down now. All right, here, one more before the break. You ready?
I've got to be free. Free to face a life that's ahead of me.
Laurel?
I can't not hear that song without hearing Cartman sing it. Because
yes, exactly.
I think it's called Sailing Away. I don't know who the original was by because I despise it.
All right, technically you're wrong on both. Let's go to Greg.
Was that Dio?
Let's go to Paul.
Come Sail Away with Mr. Dennis DeYoung on lead vocals from Styx.
Styx is right. Dennis DeYoung later went on to play Judas in the Broadway musical Jesus Christ Superstar, and I saw him once as Judas.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic in Jesus Christ Superstar. All right, we got more songs, more Name That Tune for you coming up in just a second after this break. Play along with us in your car. Shout it out at the radio. We can hear you. So shout it out at the radio, or if you're in our chat group, you can leave the comments in the chat thread. We would appreciate that. We'll continue our Friday night fun and games. Name That Tune continues next right here on The Joe Kelley Show.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. News, weather, traffic, all the things you want on your drive home. Plus, Joe Kelley being, well, Joe Kelley. Now, The Joe Kelley Show on Orlando's News and Talk, WDBO.
Thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in, we're playing our Friday night fun and games. We're doing music trivia tonight. Laurel is so far clobbering the competition. I don't know how that is happening. By the way, Marie just said that our IT guy has great hair. I will tell you, that's not our IT guy. He is our broadcast engineer. And yes, he has great hair, but I will be sure and tell Jeff Steele that he has great hair, because he does. He's got good hair. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate another man who's got good hair. Greg has good hair. Laurel, you've got hair.
Hey.
What?
Sir.
All right, here you go. Here's our next song in music trivia. Are you ready?
Think it's time for a change. You may get disgusted. Start thinking that I'm strange.
All right, Laurel, I can tell by the look on your face that you do not know that one.
No idea.
All right, Greg.
Domino?
By?
I don't know the artist.
You get 1 point for the title. Paul Cross.
Then I'll finish it up. Van Morrison.
Domino by Van Morrison is exactly right. Paul Cross now has 8 points. Greg has 6 points. Laurel, shockingly, has 13 points. Here is your next song. Name this tune. Laurel.
Ozzy Osbourne. Crazy Train?
Wrong and wrong. Greg.
Black Sabbath. Shit.
It is Black Sabbath, yep. And, Paranoid.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Hey,
Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Very nice. All right, here's your next song. Now, I can tell you that song is both from Guardians of the Galaxy and TikTok. That is a TikTok famous song, and it's from Guardians of the Galaxy. Laurel, who is it?
I don't know it besides Guardians.
Okay. Greg.
Yeah, I'm going to guess on the title. What?
Nope. Paul Cross, what about you?
All right, I got a couple things. Redbone, Come and Get Your Love.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And you know what's special about Redbone?
I believe
They
they're.
are
Can I guess?
Yes.
I believe they're all Native American.
Completely Native American band. You're absolutely right.
2 points for Joe Kelley.
Point for Joe Kelley.
So yeah, as I was getting these songs already, I looked at their picture, and in the picture, I thought those guys all look Native American because they were dressed. They unlike the Village People, who it was cultural misappropriation or appropriation. They actually did look Native American in that one. All right, here's your next song, Cut 16. Laurel.
Sure, I've heard that song before, but I've got no clue.
Greg.
That Foghat?
Foghat is correct. Do you have a name of the song?
Can't think of the
Come
title.
on, Greg.
All right. Paul Cross, I know you'll get it.
Slow ride.
There
Take it
Take
easy.
it easy.
All
I like
right.
the bass part in the middle of that song is great.
By the way, Paul is now 1 point away from your score, Laurel, so he is catching up.
Well, I knew it happened.
Yes,
so quick.
I did as well. All right, here we go. Next song.
To know what I have in mind, honey, you ought to know.
Laurel.
Nothing. Got nothing.
That's a Hot-Blooded.
Hot-Blooded.
And that's Foreigner, right?
By Foreigner. Very
My mom's
nice.
favorite cleaning CD. Anytime that there was cleaning to be done in the house, that was the first CD in the 5 CD tray.
Isn't that funny? All right, here's your next song. Listen up. Laurel, who is it?
It's Bon Jovi. And is the full title You Give Love a Bad Name?
It is You Give Love a Bad Name. Wow, nice job, Laurel. All right, we're going to move into a new era here. We're going to move into a new decade. Here we go. Here's your next song.
Don't lie. What's your name here? Take a look around. At least you got friends.
Laurel.
Nada mucho.
Wow, Greg.
Uh-oh, let's go.
Do you have the artist?
I don't.
That's 0-0 for you. Paul Cross.
Let's Go Crazy by Prince.
You got it exactly right. Both points there. And you're still 1 point behind Laurel on that one. Hang on. Can we do one more? Can we do one more real quick before the music? Okay, here we go. Hang on. Here we go. Here's your next one. Laurel.
No.
Greg.
Take on Me.
By
Flock of Seagulls?
No. You get 1 point for the title. Paul Cross. I see what you did there. Paul just answered the question. The name of the band is Aha. It's Take On Me by Aha, and Paul now takes the lead with 1 point over Laurel.
Well, now you're going to get into the newer songs, and now is when I'm going to be starting to lose.
And that's exactly why we do it the way we do it. So hang on, everybody stay with us. We're going to continue our Friday night fun and games with Name That Tune. Play along in your car. Play along with us. We will continue getting a little bit deeper into the musical archives and a little bit more current in the musical archives. Coming up next on The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk. Connected to our community. Talk local issues and events with Joe Kelley. Use the open mic in the WDBO app and let Joe know what interests you. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
All right, we have worked out the ghosts in the machine, and Paul Cross is now back with us. Hello, Paul Cross.
Ghosts in the machine, the police. I like that.
Thank you very much. All right, we're doing Friday night fun and games, our music trivia. Here's your next song.
And I heard a screeching, falling between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. I said, what in the world?
All right, that is not your next song. Are you ready? This one sounds very similar, but it's not the same song. Here you go. All right, Paul Cross, you're first.
Not a clue.
All right, Greg, you're next.
I don't have it.
Laurel.
I don't know.
What is wrong with you guys? How do you guys not know Insane in the Brain by Cypress Hill?
Oh, yeah, I would have known that.
You would have known that?
Yeah.
I just asked you and you didn't know it.
If, you had given me one more minute of the song.
Oh, okay. All right, here you go. Your next song.
But I wonder what it's like to be the rainmaker. I wonder what it's like to know that I made the rain.
All right, so these are the newer songs, so I'm going in reverse order now. So, Laurel, you're going to be last. Paul Cross, who is that?
Matchbox 20 with Rob Thomas. I'm going to guess Rainmaker. I don't know the name of the song.
That is not the name of the song. I'll give you 1 point for knowing the artist. Greg?
Nothing.
Laurel?
I know the words. I don't know the title.
Well, sing out the words and maybe the...
No, because I only know every third word. The rain.
See, that's how I'm...
Little pock to everyone.
I know the first 5 words of every song, and then it's just it's lost from there.
Exactly.
That is Real World by Matchbox 20. All right, here's your next song.
Oh, make me over. I'm all I want to be. A walking study.
That song is also in a Marvel movie. That was in Captain Marvel, by the way. Paul Cross, who is it?
I'm not quite sure it's the name of the album or the song, but Celebrity Skin by Hole.
Holy smokes. That is exactly right. I cannot believe you got that.
I wouldn't have had a single bit of that.
I wouldn't have had that at all. Laurel, would you have known that one?
No, not even close.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. As I put these songs together, I'm like, well, I know the song. I know the tune, but I would never have known the name or the artist of that song. Hole. Celebrity Skin by Hole. Wow. All right, here's your next song.
Come on. Hot, sicker than your average. Papa twist cabbage off instinct. Niggas don't think shit, stink pink gators. My Detroit players. Tim's for my...
Paul.
I think we got away without bleeping a word there. I have no idea.
Yep. Greg.
Notorious B.I.G.
And?
Big Papa.
Nope. You get 1 point for the artist. Laurel.
Yep, it's Biggie, Can't You See?
No.
Yeah.
That is not the name.
Biggie.
But you sure sounded enthusiastic there,
I'm
Laurel.
telling you.
The name of the song is Hypnotize.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. This next one, I will give $10 of my own money out of my pocket if anybody gets this one right. All right? Listen carefully. All right, Paul Cross.
I get knocked down.
I got $10 right here. It goes to anybody who knows this.
It's Chumbawamba.
Uh-huh.
And I'm drawing a blank on the name of the song.
Greg.
Sorry.
It's Tub Thumping from Chumbawamba.
Damn it.
There you go. $10.
It had the baby dancing on the CD cover, right?
I just lost $10.
That one
All
was
right.
easy.
How is that easy? I played that song on the radio and I still would have got it wrong.
Oh, well.
I still would not have known that
Well,
one.
where's my $10 for whole celebrity skin? That was probably the.
I should have wagered
Crazy
on that
one.
one. All right, here's your next song.
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue. Like
Okay, that is also from a Marvel movie. That is from Iron Man 3, by the way. I know all the Marvel movies way too much. Paul Cross, what is that song? By the way, Evelyn just texted me and she said Chumbawamba, Tub Thumping. I cannot believe people know that song.
That was their only hit ever.
Ever, yes, absolutely right. So who sang that? Paul Cross.
I believe it's. I think the title of the song is Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Da or something when you have it in parentheses, but I don't know who does it.
All right, Greg.
Eiffel?
Ooh, so close. Laurel?
Eiffel 65.
Aha! So Laurel gets the full credit for that. It is Blue by Eiffel 65.
Yo, listen up, here's the story.
My glory days at the skating rink, right?
That's right. Reverse skate. Ladies'
Girls
choice.
have boys.
All right, here's your next one. Good luck on this one.
Yo, it's about that time to break forth the rhythm and the rhyme. I'ma get mine, so get yours. I wanna see sweat coming out your pores. On the house tip, the sound of swinging is strictly hip.
Paul Cross.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Go on.
I can't
Greg.
remember the name.
Name of the song, Greg.
I can't think of it.
Laurel.
Not a clue.
That one I would have got right. Good Vibrations. It's
Good
your
Vibrations.
Good Vibrations. Woo! Okay, here's your next song. Listen carefully to this song. All right, Laurel.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
By
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Bingo, you got it. Very
Nice.
nice. 2 points. All right, so Paul has 20 points. Laurel has 19 points, and Greg has 15 points. Here is your next song. I'd be willing to bet I'm going to stump you on this one.
This here's a jam for all the fellas. Try to do what those ladies tell us. Get shot down because you're overzealous. Play hard to get females get jealous. Okay, smarty, go to a party.
I don't even know who to start with now. Paul.
LL Cool J? Bust a Move?
So you've got the title right. I'll give you 1 point for that. Greg.
Is that Biz Marquee?
That is incorrect. Laurel.
This is the third song I would have said was Jump Around, so I have no idea.
That is Young MC.
Oh, Young MC.
Young
Bust a
MC. All right. Your next song.
Living like a bomb, baby, come and get it on. Living like a lover with a red iPhone. Looking like a tramp, like a video ram. Demolition woman, can I be your man?
I was giving you a hint on the video, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. All right. Laurel, who is that?
I can sing you the words, don't know any of the info.
Greg.
If she can sing the words,
can't
she'll
think
get the title.
Oh, I know the title.
What is the title?
I just did it in my brain, as Paul was saying. Pour some sugar on me.
Okay.
I don't know anything else.
Greg, nothing?
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard it is.
Woohoo,
That is
teamwork.
exactly right. Very nicely done. All right, here you go. This one might stump you.
You got sirens for a welcome. There's blood stain for your pain. And your telephone been ringing while you're...
Laurel.
You made up that song.
I did not make
Fake song.
Greg.
Nothing.
Paul Cross.
Duran Duran, and I believe it's the Reflex.
Oh, so close. Duran
It's
Duran.
Duran Duran.
Yep.
Not Rio, not Hungry Like the Wolf.
Would it be Wild Boys?
Yes, it would be Wild Boys.
Oh, I don't get a point for that, I'm afraid. All right.
shoot.
Here's your next song.
Turn it down, you say. All I gotta say to
All right, Laurel, who is that?
I know the SpongeBob version of that.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Is that, wait, is it Twisted Sister?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I know.
Okay, Greg?
That's all I know.
Okay, Paul. Paul has the daggum album. Of course he does. Paul, what's the name of the song?
Oh, my gosh. Now I'm drawing a blank.
You're not going to get a point. How about that?
Was it
No,
Turn
I'm
the
not.
Power
Not
Up?
gonna get-
I want to rock.
Rock. Yeah.
All right, hang on. We're going to wrap up. I still have plenty of songs left. We're going to wrap up our Friday night fun and games, music trivia, name that tune. In the break here, I'm going to go pay my debt. I'm going to go pay my debt to Greg, my $10 I now owe him. A Kelly always pays his debts. What's that from? Game of Thrones. I'll have to do movie trivia or TV trivia next week. All right, we'll continue. It's the Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO. Insightful.
You tell the truth from your point of view.
Entertaining.
Man, that guy is a lot taller than he sounds on the radio.
And engaging.
When we hear you on the radio, it's a good thing.
The Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
All right, the score right now, Paul Cross has 22 points, Laurel has 21 points, and Greg has 16 points, and I am simply the facilitator of Name That Tune. Are you guys ready for the next song? Here it is.
I heard you on the wireless back in 52. Lying awake intently tuning in on you. If I was young, it didn't stop you coming through.
Laurel, who is that?
I don't know.
Greg, who is that?
Nothing.
Wow, Paul Cross. Oh, is Paul Cross not turned on? I mean, and by turned on, I mean his microphone. Is Paul's mic on?
Turn on, Paul.
There, now, Buggles.
And what's the name of the song?
Video Killed the Radio Star.
Good for 2 points. That song, by the way, fun fact, first song ever played on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if A, MTV still exists, and B, if they still play music videos. But Video Killed the Radio Star was the first song ever played on MTV. Here's your next song.
I was walking down a one-way street, just a-looking for someone to meet. One woman who was looking for a man.
Laurel.
Nothing.
Greg.
Huey Lewis in the News.
Go on.
Love something. I can't remember.
Paul Cross.
Do You Believe in Love?
Do you believe in love?
I gave Paul a hint. I saw him get it after I said it.
No, I was trying to say, come on, Greg, get it.
All right, here we go.
Get it.
Hang on, here's your next song, quick. Laurel, quick, go.
No.
Greg, go.
Nothing.
Paul Cross.
Real name Eddie Mahoney. Take Me Home Tonight.
Eddie Money, Take Me Home Tonight. Paul Cross is our winner tonight. Congratulations, PC.
Yay.
Woo! Have a great weekend, everybody. Have a fun Friday night. Be careful. We need you guys all to make it to Monday because we need all the listeners we can get. So everybody be careful this weekend. Have fun. Enjoy the weather. It's going to be awesome. And we will see you back here Monday afternoon, 5 till 7. It's the Joe Kelley Show on WDBO.
Whatever you're saving up for, a CD from Sandy Spring Bank lets you grow your savings at a guaranteed rate. Right now, earn interest at 5.50% APY on an 8-month CD special or 5.00% APY on a 14-month CD special. Learn more at sandyspringbank.com/CD specials. Minimum opening deposit to earn the annual percentage yield is $500 for the 8-month CD special and $2,500 for the 14-month CD special. Member FDIC.